I'd like to share with you the great secret and mystery of experiencing a Jewish holiday that is meaningful and uplifting. This is true. The principles are true for every holiday, and then I'll give you the keys for the holiday of Sukkot, which we begin tonight. The secret to experiencing a holiday in a beautiful, uplifting, meaningful way is know the spirit of the holiday. You must know what the energy, the spirit of the holiday is. If you know the energy and spirit of the holiday, step number 2 is know the rituals and mitzvot which are an expression of this spirit. You have to know what are the rituals that are the actions. They are not the spirit itself, but they are the body that carry that spirit. They are the body, the structure, which are conducive to carrying that spirit. So now you have to know the spirit A, and then you have to know what those rituals and mitzvahs are, which are an expression of that spirit. And then step number 3, and then you got it. Step number 3 is that you join together 3 dimensions: time, space, and spirit. That means time is you have to know the time zone of this holiday. When does it begin? And because time also carries unique energy. That's why God designated certain times on the calendar, and they are much more propitious to be able to access the unique energy of the holiday, which is why these specific days are designated for these holidays. In Hebrew, we call them Mo'adei Kodesh. They are designated holy times. God designates these times on the calendar. So you have to know the time of the holiday. You join together the time and the space. And the space means the different things, the rituals that are done during this holiday. Where are they done and with what are they done? And then the spirit, right? Which is your soul, your spirit, with the spirit of the holiday. So let's take a look at the holiday of. And here's one thing I do want to add. The responsibility to experience a meaningful holiday is on who? It's on you. It's not on the cantor in the synagogue. It's not on the person hosting the meal. It's not on the cook and how well they cooked. All of these things are so secondary. It is on your willingness to learn, spend time, and there's an endless journey of connecting with the spirit of a holiday on deeper and deeper levels. So you have to continuously deepen that through your life so it becomes richer and richer for you. You have to make the resolve and commitment to do the things, the rituals and the mitzvos that we are meant to do, which are an expression of this energy. And we have to do it at the right time, right? And then we have all 3 joined together. So you've got to make a commitment to do that. And when you make a commitment to do that, you're going to begin to experience why people stop their entire lives for these holidays. Because it's like raising yourself way beyond life as we normally know it during an ordinary weekday. So here's how it is for the holiday of Sukkot. Sukkot, the spirit, the energy of the holiday of Sukkot is joy. It's called Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy. We are meant to be joyous, and the entire holiday structure is all built around joy. It's also built around unity. That's another big theme in the holiday of Sukkot. And I'm just going to give you a very basic association with these, although this goes very, very deep, as I just mentioned. The only way a person experiences joy in life, true, genuine joy, and which of course can be experienced on many levels, but even to get to the most basic levels, there's one key ingredient that you need to experience joy, and there's one key ingredient that you need to experience unity, and they are both the same one ingredient, and they are humility, absence of self, egoless. This is the great secret to joy. Joy is not pleasure, and it's not indulgence. That's all a very strong presence of self. That's not joy, that's pleasure. But there's joy. Joy is absence of self. That's actually what joy is. And I would define joy with those words. Joy is the experience of something in the absence of self. That means not that you are not present physically, but that your consciousness is not consumed with yourself, but it's consumed with other. whether it is other as another person, or other as a purpose, or other as God. But you lose sense of self. The classic example I always share is when my mother-in-law once shared with me that I was playing with one of my kids, and she said, you were so happy when you were playing with your child. And I was oblivious. I was unaware of how happy I was because I was so consumed. I was lost in the moment of playing with my child. That actually is happiness, right? And in some way, it's elusive. Oh, but I missed it, right? That's the only way a person can have genuine happiness is if you miss it. But you're not missing it, you're missing yourself. That's what you're missing. When you miss yourself, then you can be with it, right? Whatever that it is. So it's this humility that gives us joy, and of course humility and selflessness that gives us unity. We can only get closer to people when we get ourselves out of the way. The more present we are with our own self, the more another person is actually in contrast to us. So therefore, we have certain rituals, mitzvahs that God gave us on Sukkot. One of them is to eat in the sukkah. Get out of the comfort of your home, go into an environment which is not very comfortable, and learn how to be comfortable in that discomfort. Don't let the external discomforts create your state, right? That is genuine joy, that my external state is not ideal at all, and it's fine, because it's not about me. That is why one of the significances of sitting in a sukkah. Right? There's another big celebration on the holiday of Sukkot, which calls Simchas Beis HaShoeva, which is related to the drawing of water. The unique thing about water is that water is bland. It doesn't really have a taste. In fact, if someone is just drinking water, but they are not drinking it for pleasure, we actually don't even make a blessing before we drink it, which is in contrast to everything, practically anything else that we eat. We always have to make a blessing. Why? Because we're enjoying it. But it's possible to drink water without enjoyment because water is very bland, and you may not be drinking it for enjoyment, but just for thirst. And you don't make a bracha then. So water actually signifies the absence of my pleasure, me getting something out of it. No, this is not about me getting something out of it. It's about me putting something into it. So there's a whole celebration that they had every single night in the temple around the drawing of water, and the spirit of water is the absence of self. And so we see, and then you have the shaking, of course, of the lulav and the esrog, the four species that we put together. The four species represent four different types of Jews. We bring them all together in unity, right? How do we create this unity? We do the ritual, reminding ourselves that unity can only happen when there is an absence of self. This is the spirit of the holiday of Sukkot. So now you know the spirit, the spirit is joy and unity, which is experienced through developing more and more of an absence of self and ego, more commitment to other, to purpose, and to God. And we have these rituals of sitting in the sukkah. We have a ritual of being joy, so practicing being in a state of joy, not letting the externals impact me, and of shaking the lulav and esrog, creating a sense of unity. The sukkah itself also is an expression of unity, not for now. So all of these are the spirit, the rituals and mitzvos. We do it during the 7 days of Sukkot, and we become beautiful people who become happier people because we are practicing how to be less absorbed in self and more absorbed in others, in purpose, and in God. Have a wonderful Yom Tov.